Hello and welcome to part 3 of your guide to buying land. Now, if you haven't watched part 1 and 2, then I recommend that you first watch those before you come and see this. This part has been made specifically to answer some of the outstanding questions that you guys have posted in the comments of our previous videos, and we are going to take up these questions today. But before I start, I need to make some disclaimers. First, we are not property dealers. We do not help you to buy land. We do not deal in land of any sort. So please do not contact us with inquiries about land prices, deals, where to buy land, etc. We are not in that business at all. Second thing, we do not sell land. So please don't again reach out to us asking to buy land around us, near us, from us, because we are not in that business. And thirdly, we speak in the language that we feel is right for the videos that we are making. Sometimes we do videos in Hindi, sometimes we do videos in English. We might do videos in some other language at some other point in time. It is indeed our prerogative and our decision to use the language that we feel is right and we want to communicate in. So, 3 चीज़ें मैं बोलना चाहूँगी इस वीडियो से पहले. पहला, हम प्रॉपर्टी डीलर नहीं हैं, ब्रोकर नहीं हैं, हम ना ही कोई ज़मीन बेचते हैं, ना आपको ख़रीदवा सकते हैं. तो इसके विषय में आप हमें कोई कमेंट या मैसेज ना भेजें तो अच्छा रहेगा. ना ही हम कोई यहाँ ज़मीन बेच रहे हैं, ना अपनी बेच रहे हैं, ना आस पड़ोस की बेच रहे हैं. हम सिर्फ अपना थोड़ा ज्ञान और अपनी सीख बांटने के लिए ये वीडियो बनाते हैं. इस वीडियो से हमें और कुछ प्राप्त नहीं होगा. और तीसरी चीज़, हम उस भाषा में बात करते हैं जिस भाषा में हमें लगता है कि ये वीडियो का कंटेंट जिस टारगेट ऑडियंस के लिए है, हम उस भाषा में बात करते हैं. हमने कई वीडियो हिंदी में भी बनाए हैं, पर कुछ वीडियो हम अंग्रेज़ी में ही बनाते हैं क्योंकि हमें कुछ अपना ही आइडिया है कि किस टाइप के लोग हमारे वीडियोस देखेंगे. चलिए अब चलते हैं एंड आगे वी विल टॉक अबाउट व्हाट आर द आउटस्टैंडिंग क्वेश्चंस फ्रॉम यू ऑन हाउ टू गेट स्टार्टेड विद बाइंग लैंड. So in my mind, growing paddy is like growing any other crop. Of course, paddy fields tend to be waterlogged. The question that you must ask around that land is this getting waterlogged by man-made irrigation, or does this get waterlogged through natural rain? If it gets waterlogged through rain, then you may have some challenges in terms of converting it into a forest, because you will have to manage the water somehow, either drain it out or create a pond where the water can actually all get collected. But you will have to build some drainage within your land before you're able to cultivate it. Definitely planting trees will help. Planting trees helps to fix all sorts of land. So definitely planting trees will help, but my instinct and my intuition is that you will be able to work with a paddy field as well to build a permaculture farm. As far as trees are concerned, I don't think you will find any land anywhere which has trees on it. So that should not be a criteria for you to either get disheartened or feel like this land is not worth pursuing. You have to plant your trees yourself. The problem with our world is that we don't have enough trees, and I'm looking at you to plant some of those. Absolutely, 1 acre of land is not a small amount of land. It is a fairly large piece of land, and you can do enough farming. You can probably grow all your fruits, all your vegetables, all your herbs and spices. You can also plant some dals. Perhaps the only thing that you will not be able to do is plant large scale cultivation of grasses. And what I mean by grasses is things like wheat, paddy, jowar, bajra, millets, things which actually are grown over large areas. But other than that, you will be able to farm everything in 1 acre. And in the course of this YouTube channel, I will be putting out more videos of small gardens that we've created, where we are doing a lot of multi-cropping and growing a lot of things in areas which are even smaller than 1 acre. So that might serve as an example and inspiration to you. So stay tuned to watch some of those videos. Well, the truth is that most land that you will find will be chemical land. It would have been cultivated chemically by the previous occupants. And that is a challenge that you will face. However, nature has great healing powers, and once you set up your permaculture farm, plant your trees, invite microbes and fungus to inhabit your soil, they will quickly do the job of remediation of your soil and break down all harmful chemicals and other things that you may not want, and convert it into a rich, lush, organic farm within a few years. So do not get disheartened because the land is cultivated chemically today. You have to get started, you have to fix it, and make this world much more healthier and cleaner than what it has been in the past years. When we bought this piece of land, we used to live in Mumbai, and as you know, the land is located near Chandigarh. We had very limited time for us to come down and scout for the land, and so the approach we took was to contact a city broker who was very trustworthy, known to us, and even though he did not deal in agricultural land, we felt that we trusted him to help us find the right piece of land. He then in turn connected with people who deal in agricultural land and helped to broker this deal where we bought the initial piece of land. So if you have the time and if you are located in the same place that you are looking to buy land, perhaps you can spend a lot of your weekends going and scouting for land and looking for an appropriate piece of land. But if you're short on time, then probably going through a broker might be the right approach. Either which ways, what I would recommend based on our experience is that the broker is extremely important. Especially, he has to be trustworthy. It should be somebody that you trust. Everything else is secondary, because this is really a deal in which trust is very important, because there is a chance that you might get misled or tricked or conned in the process, and therefore trust is the most important thing. So please find somebody that you trust, has come through references, and then with him or her you can work to find the right piece of land. Well, so the way to handle the local community is to co-opt them into your project. The way we chose to do this was to hire people locally, give local employment, and when you do that, then they in turn tend to stand up and defend your project in the face of any local trouble. So we've always hired a local staff. In fact, we've had the same set of people since day one. We've added a few, but we've not removed anybody. And same set of people have been working on this project for the last 10 years almost now. And they have a deep sense of belonging, deep sense of identity, a deep sense of sort of loyalty towards this place. And they are the ones who go out, spread some of the practices that we are pursuing here, talk about the project, defend it, and of course guard it fiercely from any vandalism, theft, or anything of that sort. It's been 10 years now since we've been running this project, and we've been very, very fortunate and lucky, but we've not had any incidents of theft, vandalism, or destruction. We have had incidents of petty quarrels with the neighbors, but nothing that could not be resolved over a cup of tea with them. In fact, just the other day, I heard from 3 different people of our team about how they feel so happy and at home here that they just don't feel at peace in their own village, or in the village rather. So they said, हम तो उठते हैं सुबह और एकदम से यहाँ आ जाते हैं, और जब तक यहाँ रह सकते हैं रहते हैं, और शाम को सिर्फ सोने जाते हैं. So they started feeling a deep sense of peace, harmony, joy. I always tease them and say that their office and their workplace is actually the best workplace or best office that anybody else could have, because who gets an opportunity to go and work every day in a place like Aanandaa? So, we got a little bit lucky with hiring people. We started off by finding Panditji, who is our supervisor. He's a person that you would have seen in some of the videos and is clearly someone that is well recognized at Aanandaa. He used to run a dhaba before he joined us, and we just actually stopped at the dhaba, and he asked us some questions about where we were coming from. We got talking, and we told him we bought this land here and we are looking for some people to work on it. and he said, you know what, I'll come. And he shut down his dhaba and actually moved in here to start supervising and running this farm. He belongs to the local village, and then he brought in a bunch of people from the village to come and help us. Now, is farming a very attractive and aspirational job for the youth of the village? Clearly it isn't, right? So we do tend to attract those who are school dropouts, who've not studied more, who do not think they'll have a life beyond the village. But having said that, the way to keep them motivated and engaged is to work with them side by side and lead from the front. Also to do something interesting. I think if the work gets too monotonous, then obviously they also lose interest. So the two things that have worked for us, I think, is one, we are always doing something new and interesting, creating new projects, teaching them new techniques, growing new crops that they've never seen before. Remember, they were used to growing only 4 or 5 things. Today we grow 120 plus things. So they're also learning and they remain excited. And secondly, working with them shoulder to shoulder. Like, I haven't got my biceps just by doing nothing. I spend a lot of time working with the farm help on all the work that we do. Lifting things, digging, plowing, sowing, harvesting, de-weeding, you name it. And that's when they really get motivated and interested. They are like, okay, if she can do this, then so should we. And there is now a deep sense of motivation that they have in doing work here and showing something good. And of course, when people like you visit and compliment how Aanandaa is looking and how productive and beautiful it is, they get another shot of energy to carry on with their daily work. Once you do find some people in the village to work for you, it's important to give them the feeling of being salaried employees, permanent employees, and not just people who can be fired or hired at a whim. That's the second thing that's really worked for us. We've converted all of them from a status of being a daily wage earner into that of being a salaried employee. We pay their salaries into their bank accounts and have been doing that for many years now. And they are now entitled to loans from the bank, for a motorcycle or things like that, because the bank does see a regular salary getting credited into their account. So their own sort of status, self-esteem, etc. has risen in the village. With that, we come to the end of our guide to buying farmland. The next video that you're going to see in this series will be about how to get started once you already have the land. So stay tuned for that video, and if you have any questions in anticipation of those videos, do put them down in the comments below. So stay tuned, stay safe, and thanks again for watching. Bye-bye.